Good morning, everyone, and today we're here in Venice, Italy. Excited, one of the most excited cities I was on this trip that we're on right now. We have a full day here in Venice, lots of fun stuff to do, lots of things to see, and just take in the beauty of the city. I go by the legend. That's my wonderful girlfriend Molly. And
it's a city I've definitely always wanted to go to too.
Yes, we're gonna see the sights, eat some fun food, have some fun drinks, and explore. If you haven't been to Venice before, there's kind of no roads, no cars. It's all canals and like passageways. So like somebody's here is delivering kegs, lots and lots of kegs.
Lots of kegs.
And they're all being delivered by boat. All right, our hotel did not have breakfast, so we're starting off here at Pizzeria Tonolo for a clearly a very nutritious breakfast.
Yes, we have to. It was recommended to me by someone on Instagram.
And here's our very nutritious breakfast: croissant, a small chocolate cake type thing. I don't really know what this is. I'm excited for it. A tiny cream puff, and then cannoli type pastry. We got all four for €4.90. Pretty good deal. Now that we had a delicious breakfast, it's time to come and explore some of the famous sites here in Venice. Walk past a Venetian pet store, selling all sorts of goods, and there's a cat.
He's really playful.
Just adorable. Look at that cat. Okay, I guess we should go somewhere famous. Sorry, cat. One thing you realize pretty quick about Venice is like it's not easy to get from point A to point B because there's all alleyways and canals, and especially some of them, like right now we're at the Grand Canal, there's only so many bridges that go over the Grand Canal. Right now we're on the famous wooden bridge. So just be sure to keep your eye on your Google Maps. Make sure you download your offline maps if you don't have Wi-Fi service, and have somebody in your party kind of keep an eye on that.
Or take a water taxi.
Yeah, there's water taxis. There's these guys there. That's like the water subway system, the Vaporetto boats. But yeah, it's just a wonderful city to wander around. Look at that boat. All right, wandering around, we found this wonderful square. Also, it's just fun people watching. Just walked by a guy speaking in English who said, right now the biggest trend in fashion is NASCAR t-shirts. And then I'm like, Kenny, Calvin Klein.
He would be really excited.
Yeah. Well, this is a first for us. Not only were we on a little bridge over the canal, but this one goes into a building.
We also took a wrong turn and went to a gondola, like
drop off
area.
Which is going to happen, I think, a lot.
Yes. You have to really zoom in on your Google Maps to see the best path.
Right now we're by the Grand Opera House, which you can go on a tour of. Yes,
it was really popular. I think if we had 2 days here, we would probably do it because it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of thing for me personally, where I like to go in, see it, take a picture, and then leave. Like, I don't think I need to go on a full kind of tour. Mm-hmm. Very pretty looking. Some really cool art, including this one that's spinning around. Unlike our old conservative United States of America, you can street drink here. So wander the galleries, have a beer, see some cool stuff like these glass birds.
Yeah, I like the one with the wheels.
Yeah, look at him. Absolutely love the kind of pirate ship that's hanging off this bar and restaurant. We are in sort of a fancy shopping area of town.
So you have bigger shops now.
Yeah, and a lot of your name brands, super fancy, expensive stores that we'd never shop in.
Bigger pedestrian walkways too.
Wow, look at this gallery. Giant sculpture gallery. Look at that.
That is crazy.
One thing I love in the city, street eats. Just bought what I think is a giant mozzarella stick for €3. And they had some good looking stuff over here.
A bar.
Look at that. Big giant arancini balls of meat. You get a large croquette and sandwiches. Bar Ducale.
Yeah.
Walking around town, I saw this sign. Tourist test, if you like animals, throw a coin under the door. These birds will sing for you. There's a bunch of birds over here. We happen to have some coins. So Molly's gonna throw it and we're gonna see if these birds will indeed do their thing. A little bit, I guess. One of my rules of traveling, if I'm wandering around a city and I see a distillery, especially if I don't have to drive, I'm going in. Doing some sampling. They had a lot of really cool sounding liquors in here. It was €2 a sample. We went with 4. Sweet. I think both of our favorites was the blueberry liqueur. And also the prices. Like, this is a super fancy store. I would expect the prices on these bottles to be insane. They are not. The big bottles, which come in this cool tin container, €17. And the size that is referred to as baby, the little one, $9.50.
If we were not leaving
yeah,
tomorrow,
we have to be on plane in 24 hours, so can't get this through airport security of our carry-ons, but man, wish we could. Outside of the canals, the most famous section of Venice would be right here, the Piazza di San Marco, home to the Basilica, the Tower, and more. Not a restaurant I'm going to be eating at, this is probably insanely expensive, but holy cow, check this out. Got a 4-piece like orchestra-style band playing during lunch service. That's awesome. The clock tower in the Piazza is terrific. Very different, very old-timey. Check that out. I would assume these two gentlemen up here on the top of the tower ring the bell every so often. Also does have kind of one of the symbols of the city right there, the winged lion. We are in a different section of the Piazza now, which might look familiar to a lot of you out there, as this area was the inspiration for the Italy Pavilion at Epcot back home in Orlando. They've got this building here, as well as the tower. Another shot over here, we can get both the Epcot buildings in one picture. And inside this one, unlike in the pavilion in Epcot's World Showcase, which is a perfume store, this is a palace, Doge's Palace. We do have tickets, and we're gonna go head inside there next. Once you enter in the palace area, there is a beautiful square. Some very intricate architecture. Pretty cool face on the wall.
Kind of reminds me of the Muppets Christmas Story.
The Christmas Carol with the door knockers?
Mm-hmm.
This is known as the Golden Staircase. Really neat ceiling in this room.
Here's a waiting room.
Another very beautiful, very ornate room. This room is the Senate's chambers.
It's so detailed on the ceiling.
You can see the chairs where all the senators sit. The tour of the palace continues with the armory. Next to this mega gun, you get a great 2 or 3 story up view onto the Grand Canal. This is the chamber of the Great Council. Giant room. Something interesting this palace does that other ones in Europe we visited definitely don't do is they have a couple rooms for art installations. Mm-hmm. And these are not permanent exhibitions. These are just here for, I think, 6 months or so. And interesting. The room we're in right now is very famous here in Venice. Just notice the Bridge of Sighs. Now we're in the prison section, so this room would be the last thing prisoners would see as they go from the prison to the death chamber. It's pretty morbid to be famous, kind of, right? And they would see that. And the jail kind of just looks like, you know,
Like a jail.
yeah, a lot more room than current jails. Here's a better view of the famous Bridge of Sighs. Gondola underneath. And that'll do it for our time in the palace. It was neat, different than the other palaces we've been to on this adventure. And this one showed like the prisons and the Senate and stuff like that. I love the steampunk owl and dogs versus cats and chess. It was an expensive thing though. We booked it. It was like $28 each to tour the palace. So definitely not cheap. And now we're making our way towards lunch. Was walking to lunch. We got distracted Look at that pizza with the pepperoni on top. Oh, that torte, that prosciutto torte. That also looks great. You know, for €1.70, I thought we were gonna get this like tiny little snack pizza. That's a big honking slice.
It was also €3 for this one.
Man, I'm all sorts of confused today.
You are.
Sometimes things don't go your way. We tend to research a lot when we come to cities like this. We wanted to grab some good pasta here at Bacchi and Pasta, but today closed for an extraordinary and unpredictable maintenance. That's gotta be bad.
That doesn't sound good.
No, big words. All right, now one thing we had to do when coming to Venice, the canal tour on the gondola, just like you see in every TV show and movie. A little bit different because they let you bring giant beers on. It's hot. Gonna need this, but I'm excited to see go on this iconic ride. And away we go. It is a half an hour ride. It is €80, and it's a consistent price wherever you go throughout the city.
It's possible can up to 1 meter more. This is the natural problem coming from the wind in the Adriatic. The sheet of wind.
This is really nice, very, very peaceful. It's a whole bunch of different places you can get on or off. Some of the more popular areas, some of the less popular areas, just kind of whatever you want to see.
Non so grecio, vedo. Vieni Andrea. Ricky, tu mi fai un 20, mi dici quante che no davanti? Quante barche che ho davanti per piacere? Grazie. Sì, tranquillo. Very, grazie. Okay, and here after bridge we are back. It's the same place of the starting before. Around the corner on the right is the cinema.
So I really enjoyed our gondola experience. It is €80 no matter how many people you put in the gondola. It could go up to 6. So if you want to try and make friends and split cost, or do the romantic ride for 2 for €80, I think it was worth it.
I do too. There's two different areas, I would say. Like, you have your touristy areas that we saw lines to get on the gondola, and then we had ours where we just kind of walked up, talked to the gondola guy, and we went through more of a residential area. Mm-hmm. So we weren't there wasn't a bumper to bumper of gondolas in our area. However, we only saw one landmark in the residential.
But it was still cool. Pluses to minuses to both to wherever you get on. Expensive, but very neat. It's the kind of thing I don't know if I'll ever be back to Venice in my life, and I'm very happy that I did. Back over by the Grand Canal, there's a really cool statue. Look at the winged lion once again. And then obviously worth coming over here to this side of town, as you do get some fantastic views. I imagine with the city all being built on the water, some of these foundations are not the best. That tower is definitely...
It's leaning
to the left. So we just found a restaurant walking around. Everyone will have their menus outside. This one I just wanted to mention because we've got menus in every language. Italian, English, German, French. I think that's Spain. I'm guessing Portugal. Russia? I think that's Russia. China. Pizza menu. And then list all the allergies and what you can have and what you can't have, which is very helpful. You are given some complimentary welcome bread. And I've ordered a couple big beers here in Italy, and they are legit, really big beers. This is more Brea. It's a local Italian beer. It's really good. It's nice, kind of blonde, easy to drink, which is good because I now have a liter of it.
This is the medium.
It's a big jump up there. It's like going to the movie theater and going from the medium popcorn bucket, the bag of popcorn, to the giant bowl. Something we've been looking forward to for a while. We've been in Italy for about a week. But we haven't had a good sit-down pasta meal. I got penne with some pesto sauce. I love pesto sauce. Molly, look at that. The spaghetti carbonara.
Yes, I'm super excited.
So Italy, much like back home in Orlando, they have little tiny lizards. A definitely different breed than we get at home, but still fun to see. Back out of lunch and had that liter of beer, cooled off, and now back to exploring the city. Check out this balcony. There is some living wildlife in the canals here in Venice. The most interesting is this crab.
There it goes.
Nope. There he goes. Not the easiest guy to see.
Definitely blends in quite a bit with the sand.
Yeah.
With the step.
He's eating a piece of bread someone fed him. I did not know crabs ate bread.
I don't think they do.
Well, I learned something today. Easily my favorite part about Venice is just wandering around Venice. And look at this. There's a door that's probably 5.5 feet tall. And it takes you into a different alley. Venice is a beautiful town. A very distinct architecture style in every single building. But at the same time, I feel like every single building in the city is ready to fall over at just any moment.
But it gives it character.
It does.
I love it.
As long as the character doesn't collapse on you. All right, go ahead and file this one under why it's here. It's like a random doorway in the middle of the street. Made it to what I assume is the northern end of Venice. Some cool stuff on this island over here as well. Really, really pretty. I will say, if you don't have your phone on Google Maps at all times, it is so easy to get lost. But you're getting lost in one of the prettiest cities in the world, so it's that big of a deal. Really? Not really. If you are visiting Venice during the summer like we are, it does get very, very warm. Today is probably in the mid-90s, high 90s. It can get brutal. There's a lot of shade here, so that's good. But they do have a couple of these water fountain fillers throughout the city, and that really helps. Of course, I'm an idiot, so I'm drinking a beer. We have found yet another nice area of town. While we were on the gondola tour, they let us know that in the winter, the water level does rise up considerably. And then there's more gigantic old churches. This is very, very big. And then there's some good-looking bars and bakeries.
And this side of the island seems to be a little bit more cheaper, as well as more residential versus tourist.
Yeah, and in the northeastern, the more northeast you go in Venice, that's what has been what we've found.
Yeah.
Found this really neat chocolate store, which has chocolate displays in their window. So ended up going into the chocolate store. Had to get a chocolate chip cookie. Gonna give it the old taste test.
How is it?
It's interesting. It's kind of like a sugar cookie with chocolate chips in it. On a very hot day here in Venice, or pretty much any day here in Venice, you might want some gelato. And we heard this one's really good. Gelato Tega Suso. So we're going in to get some dessert. This is difficult because it's hard to make a decision in here. Everything looks good, and the line is quick. The line's kind of long, but it moves really fast. All right, this is gonna melt very fast, so Molly's already going to town. I love how they give you the branded waffle on top of it. We went with the bio cookie, which is some sort of cookies and cream type.
We didn't see
Oh yeah, we messed up.
We did. I love cheesecake.
There was a cherry cheesecake one at the end, but there's so much pressure to order.
You can't see the whole case until you get up there and
Yeah.
it's your turn.
But this looks good. Now we're gonna eat it quickly before it melts and gets all over Molly's purse. I think this is the most unique store I've seen yet. This is the Venice Duck Store. They sell nothing but rubber duckies, including little gondola rubber duckies. A version of the Rialto Bridge. Another very pretty square. I believe we are getting close to the Rialto Bridge. It's very interesting when you're walking around Venice. The closer you get to some of the major landmarks, it gets insanely touristy and insanely crowded. Other parts of the areas you're walking through, me and Molly are the only people there.
Yes, it's very unique.
Well, that's actually the exact way you think it would work. Never mind. We have found our next destination down this tiny little alley. And that is, we're hitting the pub. It's supposed to be one of the better craft beer bars here in Venice. The Devil's Forest. So the pub is very, very homey. I really enjoy it. Rather American, I would say.
Yeah, sports, signs.
Air conditioning. It also kind of feels like a bubblegum shrimp.
Yeah.
Analyze the place. We did have a couple beers and cocktails. Now we're doing an Italian classic that we have not ordered yet. This is our last day in the Aperol Spritz, which is, I believe, sparkling wine, Aperol liqueur, and then soda water. Mm-hmm. Also, credit to them. The Wi-Fi password is fantastic. Just another touch of Venice being just so beautiful. Look at this bird holding a lamp, which is made out of umbrellas. The most famous bridge to cross over the Grand Canal is the Rialto Bridge, and it is very, very pretty. Also, the view you get from the Rialto Bridge is definitely one of the prettiest in all of Venice, with the Grand Canal. We were kind of here at golden hour, so you can see what the lighting does to the old buildings. And here's the view looking the other direction on the Rialto Bridge. Also cool, this is looking, I believe, northward. Not as cool as when you're looking southward, but still cool. And you can see all the vehicle traffic, a lot of gondolas, a lot of water taxis. This dude driving his own boat. Now, do we return to that same gelato stand to fix our mistake of not ordering cherry cheesecake gelato? Yes. Yes, we did. And it's delicious. Right by the Rialto Bridge is this building.
It's a shopping center with a whole lot of shops in it. However, there's something really cool about it. They have a free lookout terrace at the very top. You do book in advance. I failed. I didn't know when we would be around here because it's very hard to navigate through Venice, so I decided to wait day of, and they were sold out.
Yeah, if anywhere, when you're trying to go somewhere in Venice, just multiply the time by 3.
What Google Maps tell you. If you're
or where do you think it'll be?
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of, oops, I'm going the wrong way.
So I didn't book it, and unfortunately it was sold out, but it's a free lookout. Yeah, you have to book it in advance on their website.
Our next destination is this pub here. Supposedly going to have some good craft beer. Last one, lovely pub, did not have a great craft beer selection. We'll see if Il Santo Bevatore redeems Venice. This one definitely a legit craft beer bar. 21 different taps, a couple of bottles and cans in the fridge. I think this is very smart. For the bottles and cans, they have them all written on tape. So in case you've got an 86 something, just rip it off. It's ingenious. Really cool. They have an outdoor patio, hang out on the canal, enjoy a beer. A really nice beer. Right near our hotel is Cafe Federici, so we stopped to share a meal, which is, I mean, that's a big portion. It's a pizza with porchetta on top. And Molly are sharing one last giant beer. So a sharing meal, but easily a meal for 2.
Oh yeah.
During our stay in Venice, we were here at the Hotel Adriatico. Kind of a no-frills hotel. It was roughly $100 a night. You could sleep 3 in here. This thing does fold down into a bed. Small bed. It has an air conditioner. Little air conditioner tries, but it's not quite the most sufficient. It doesn't make anything too cool.
It's mid-90s out here, so.
Yeah. Hotel was not very expensive either. It was about roughly $100 a night. The best part about it was a 5-minute walk from the train station. Here in Venice, you see some people carrying their luggage all over town and it looks miserable. Here was a very easy and quick walk. Bathroom was very cramped. And that'll do it for our time in Venice. I love the city. It has such an interesting and different vibe than any other city I've ever been to. Mm-hmm. You know, it does kind of feel like a vacation town, but it was just beautiful. Every time you walk around a corner, you want to take another picture. It was that neat of a city.
Yes, no, I agree.
Not a lot of attractions here, I would say. We were here for 24 hours. I think for me that was enough. Like if we had another day, I don't know what I would do. I love the gondola tour. Molly, you enjoyed your palace.
I did.
And my favorite thing was just walking around, getting lost.
Yeah.
And having some drinks. All right, guys.
It was an adventure.
Indeed. Thank you very much for watching. We got to get to the airport. Venice is a great city. Lots of history here, lots of ancient history. What I like is more modern history. And you see very important stuff happen here a couple years ago back when this great city came under attack by none other than Mysterio and the Elementals. But the city was saved by a hero. Possibly everybody's favorite Avenger, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, came here and saved the city. And I know, Molly, you want to see a lot of the historical sites.
I do.
I want to see a lot of the historical sites too, like where Spider-Man was. Spider-Man was right here on his class trip when his Peter Tingle started happening. And he had to leave his pals,
Right
don the suit, and go and do Spider-Man stuff. Right now on the bridge over the canal at the Campo Santa Maria Formosa, home to this beautiful tower. A beautiful tower that is still standing to this day thanks to the heroic efforts of Spider-Man. Using his webs, he kept it from collapsing. I am very happy to see that the Rialto Bridge has been repaired, as this was, of course, the location where Spider-Man donned a Venetian mask to hide his identity as he fought that dang elemental. The bridge took quite a pounding, but our hero saved the day. So, of course, Spider-Man visited Venice shortly after him, alongside the other of Earth's mightiest heroes, defeated Thanos. But unfortunately, not everyone made it out of that battle, including Spider-Man's mentor, Iron Man Tony Stark. But it was in this canal here in which Nick Fury gave Spider-Man the Edith glasses, Tony's last gift to his young apprentice.